If you follow along with the channel, you know we've come up to Jim and Lynn Swanson's house a couple times now because they have an incredible garden here in North Raleigh and an amazing collection of Japanese maples. So the first time Lynn and I did a tour together of this beautiful garden. Then we came up here a couple months ago at this point and did some pruning. We did some hacking on their Japanese maples, but expert hacking, okay, on their Japanese maples. And now we're back in middle April to show them leafing out, because this is kind of,
all the leaves are fresh and beautiful.
all the leaves are fresh and beautiful. So we're gonna see their favorites. They had initially narrowed their list down to 50 favorites, but we made them call it down a little bit more, okay? So we'll hear some airplane noise because we're close to the airport, but who cares? We got beautiful maples, right? You guys want to jump us right in and talk about some maples?
Talk about this one, Jim?
Sure.
Who loves this one?
This one's Acer palmatum palmatophytum. It is a weeper, and what I love about this is the leaves are slightly different than a lot of the dissected maples. It reminds me of it being almost like it was brushed.
Yeah.
And it's a fantastic tree. We visited this on our last video as a weeper, and I was stripping off dead leaves. You can see in that time period it's all leafed out, and so
Yeah.
we did prune it quite a bit. So
Does this one get good fall color?
it gets yellow fall color.
Right.
It's a nice color, but it's not a shocking color that jumps out at you, but it is nice.
Right.
So.
We get less of that overall,
Yeah.
just because
Yes.
they kind of get worn out here in the South. You folks up north, we were in the fall last year up in upstate New York, and
Oh, beautiful.
you know, you see these things from like like this.
Yes.
What's the one?
Right over here we have Rustlin in the pink. And we like this tree because it's always well formed. We don't have to prune this one so much. Some have a good
Right.
structure on their own, and then you can still, I think, hopefully pick up a little pink cast to it. It does get that in the spring. The leaves have a bit of pink cast to it. We do keep some in containers, and this is another one we really love, Lillian's Jewel. It has a pink cast to it most of the season. We have some others, the variegation is overlaid with pink, but this one has a strong pink all the time. We love that.
The name is inconsistently spelled if you're looking for it. It's like Lil apostrophe Ann that I've seen it, but I've seen a lot of different things. People think it's Lillian, it's Lil Ann. So just where, when you're looking for it, that can be a challenge. So.
Okay, this is Acer palmatum heartbeat, and if you watch the pruning video, this is one we went through and pruned it, trying to get it organized. And some people might have thought it was a lot of pruning, but you'll see when it leafed out, it's really full.
Doesn't look like we had touched it. It's so dense.
Oh, again, so everybody's got to love a red dissectum, and this is just a very pretty one. The leaves are really lacy, and so it's. I like where it is, and then it's staying low. We'll keep this one low because it just kind of gently edges down into the woods.
So one of our favorite palmatums is called Acer palmatum ukigumo, and it has this very unusual leaf pattern, this mottled kind of look, and I've seen pictures of these as they age. They can get almost white. I don't know whether ours will get that way or not, but the color effectively is a very pale, almost gray-green that you can see from the house. And I just pulled a leaf from a Siboldianum kumoi nishiki that has a similar pattern, but this one's really beautiful. It comes out effectively blue-green. And so instead of walking to the tree, we just kind of can show the variety there. So.
Here are two of our favorites side by side. This one is Ariadne, and it gets a blush pink over the leaf. It will have a variegation to it, if you can show that, Stephanie. But it gets this nice pink haze in the spring. And then a similar tree is Tiger Rose over here. And then a little more distinctive about Tiger Rose is with age it starts to not weep exactly, but to gracefully let its branches
like
droop
a willow.
little. Yeah, like a willow. And it's also got that strong, they call it reticulated variegation, almost like a ladder on the leaves.
This is a very popular variegated tree called butterfly. It's very easy to find in the trade. And you can see it has this real pale variegation. It has some pinks early in the spring, and otherwise you get this kind of yellow, pale yellow and green. And it'll get darker as the season goes on, but still stays pretty good. It took us 3 of these before we finally got one that really stayed.
Yes.
I think we've sited this one in a good spot.
This maple is a fairly new one for us. It's called Ghost Dancer. There's a lot in the Ghost series, Grandma Ghost, Sister Ghost, Amber Ghost. But I love this one in its variegation is so regular. Every leaf looks the same. Variation could be nice, but when one just pops with the whole thing looking the same, I love that as well.
What we have here is Acer palmatum Beni Chishihenge, which is a mouthful, hard to say. Our daughter, who lived in Japan 2 years, makes fun of us. It is incredible variegation. That red and a little bit edging of white and green. We have to be careful because this will tend to revert, so we're going to on purpose keep it low so we can actually get to that. There's one at the Arboretum that long ago, most of it's reverted, and that tree is probably 15 feet tall. So we were just talking about reversion, and I just peeled this off. You can see these green leaves were all clustered together, and so I was able to just yank them off. If you don't stay on top of this, it will eventually just end up being all green leaves like this. So this is a treasure tree for us, so it is worth keeping it small, and we can just come along and take care of that.
So just remind folks, how many maples do you actually have in this garden?
I think we're up to about 260.
260. Yeah. 260 Japanese maples, and then some other
species maples.
Species maples as well. Okay, so obviously you have to have a good amount of space to do that. So this lot is pretty big. But what else about this lot allows you to grow them?
So our soil is naturally acidic, and they like that. Okay. They like it amended enough to be loose and drain well.
Right.
So maples really, more than anything, like consistency.
Right.
So if you start watering them, they want that water regularly. If you put them in good soil that can hold moisture and also drain well, then they don't need as much watering, and they're happy.
Okay, so there's a lot of, they're understory trees.
Yes.
And so this is an understory. You've got large shade trees existing here, which is just kind of perfect.
Yes.
For this conditions, but you've limbed them up high enough to get some light in here. Right.
And that's good. There's a few that like full sun to keep their red color, but most of them like that dappled shade. And some, especially in the south, need protection from the hot afternoon sun.
Right.
So if you put them in a woodland and they're the understory, then that's pretty ideal.
Okay, and I've said this, it's hard to make a tag for a national plant sale, because if I say something is hardy in zone 5 to 9, in zone 9, it almost surely needs protection.
Yes.
We're in zone 8 here. In zone 5, it would need less, or zone 6, it would be more in the open air. So you have a lot of root competition, and this is a big slope, which won't come through because we're getting up close on maple, so you're not going to see. We're 30 feet below the house at this point, or more.
I think,
something like that. So you have this well drained to a fault and a lot of root competition. So does it take longer to get things established in here?
They do pretty well. Occasionally, I think we've gotten in trouble getting something too close to a mature tree.
Right, yeah.
And it can rob all the nutrients and then not do so well. But for generally, they establish pretty well.
Oh, that's good. That's good. And you've done a lot to this soil. And you leave your leaves.
We do leave our leaves, and we try to get around and break them up from the beds themselves, but we didn't even get to that this year. So everything has done fine, and the leaves protect them. They act as a regular mulch around the plant and keep the soil a little more moist.
And keep this water from just draining away.
Yes, all the way down.
Yeah, all the way down.
Yes.
What's this maple to your right?
Oh, yes, this is Suro no Mai, And this is a fairly new one for us, but we love, just as I said, the one tree that had very regular variegation, this one's a little wilder, but it has some of that cloudy, stippled variegation, and it varies all over the tree, but it's pretty consistent cream and green, and it's just so cheerful. We're stopping at this one. This is Acer palmatum black lace, and you can see that the color is so dark, it's almost red, purple, black, which makes it interesting. A few little new leaves that come out red.
What we have here is probably the most popular Japanese maple. It's called Mikawa Yatsubusa. Even the average gardener knows that name, the Japanese name. Town Buchholz it will be forever famous for coming up with this tree. Has been described as the leaves like roofing tiles, the way they overlap. Yatsubusa is a strange name, word in Japanese. I don't think we have a firm definition what it means. Sometimes they say it means dwarf, but I don't think that's correct. It has to do with kind of this tufting, I think, look. And then look at the samaras on these. They come out red, and it just adds to the attractiveness of this tree. There's probably 1 billion of these on the planet, rightfully so. And this will generate a lot of seeds and there's been many trees discovered as seedlings of Mikawa Yatsubusa.
Okay, we have a little grouping here, all small trees, so we've grouped them together in pots. Jim just showed you the big Mikawa Yatsubusa, so this is a smaller one, still in a pot. This is one we've gotten recently. It's called Jeannie's Dream, and this will be a big tree, but she can live life for a while in a pot and just looks nice in this combination. This is Oji Ishii, has a really tight leaf set, which is fun. And then exciting on the end here is Yukiyama, a Talon Buchholz introduction with really pretty variegation as it comes out.
Probably a seedling.
Yes, it probably is a seedling of Mikawa Yatsubusa. You can see it's again almost like the little shingles overlapping each other. This is Acer palmatum Seiho, and this can be a big tree at the Ralston Arboretum. There's a big one, 6 to 8 by 6 to 8, but this tree is also used for bonsai. So it came the right size to put it in a pot, and we're going to try to leave this one in a pot, which means eventually we will take it out of the pot and root prune it and keep a watch on the top, and this one hopefully will live its entire life in a pot.
This little one here is Acer palmatum Ryugu. It's very interesting variegation. There's one of these at the Arboretum that hasn't been there that long. This one struggled with us for a while. The long leader up here got pretty barren last year, but it's looking pretty healthy now. But it's a nice tight plant.
We're going to go see this maple, but on the way you'll see two of our favorite plants. These are Cornus Cusa wolfeyes, which they always brighten up the summer landscape. But we're going to walk down here to Pixie. If someone was looking for one upright red maple for their suburban landscape, this is one I would always recommend. It may be a sport from Bloodgood, but it stays in a much lower format and it stays pretty well organized and its leaves look good all summer. So this is a favorite, Acer palmatum Pixie. We stopped at this one called Red Filigree Lace, and I don't think you can find a lacier leaf than on this plant. It looks so fragile, but this one gets some sun and it really doesn't mind. If you buy a plant that says protect from afternoon sun, you need to do it. But this one is just happy as can be in this somewhat sunny spot.
We're going to talk about these two trees in pots in our front yard. These are big pots. They've had other trees in the past, but we really like the combination we have here. This one's called Acer palmatum Firefall. There's Fireball, Firefall. But what we love about this is the sweeping nature of it. It's a dissectum, but it comes down and we're allowing it to grow down So hopefully it'll get below the
pot line,
level
yeah.
of the pot line.
And this one has a little deer damage.
Yeah.
It is in the front yard. We're fenced in the back, but Jim does spray the ones in the front yard to keep the deer off them as much as possible.
We're not big fans of deer, except for as jerky. Okay. This tree is, I think, really intriguing. It's called Dixie Delight, and it's one of those that has color in its bark, but I can't even begin to describe the color. But it just really stands out, and a lot of these that have that colored bark have really bright green leaves in the spring, and the contrast is just astounding to me. Lynn had to, this one was really slow coming out this year, and did some pruning on it yesterday, just branches that weren't effectively having any leaves come out. But this just is, we get comments on this quite often. So it's really a wonderful tree. Very, very aggressive.
Well, thank you for coming to our yard. It's a privilege to have you walk through with us and see some of our favorites. We could talk about it all day, but we don't want to bore you with too many.
Yeah.